Wanna know? So this video is about how you really can't force people. I listen for people, not me, right? I listen for people out there. I got people try to force thing on me before my time. This stuff and the other. You just can't force thing on people before the time, right? You just can't force a person on somebody before the time. You just can't force a procedure before it's time, right? This is not for me, right? This was something that happened to me quite in 2022, even before I went to England, right? Because people know that I was on a particular journey, right? And they try to force a particular thing upon me, right? Force a spiritual marriage upon me, right? Force something on me, right? I'm not in a spiritual marriage with nobody. I ain't consent to no spiritual marriage with nobody, right? You can't force that on somebody. You cannot force somebody to do what they do not want to do, right? And regardless of if somebody try to force something upon you, right? Even if somebody try to force something upon you before your time, right? From a spiritual perspective, you still and that person gotta watch you live out your life, right? And they gotta wait, right? In the shadows, right? Until that procedure is complete, right? For example, I was on a mortgage, right? People evict me, right? Spiritually, I was spiritually evicted because according to them it was wrong or right. But this was part of the will, and this was part of karmic resolution and the will, right? That we was living in, right? So I was in that arrangement, right? For a particular and a manipulation took place in which I was spiritually evicted. Right now, a mortgage according to our religion is wrong, right? However, let me explain something. All of this was part of the karmic resolution of the world and in this lifetime, the karmic resolution of this lifetime, right? So if it was I was on a mortgage with the bank, that mean I had a contract with the bank and I was supposed to be fulfilling that contract and I was supposed to be fulfilling a contract with my partner who I was with fulfilling that obligation, right? It was not something that we like, but it was something that was our obligation that was required to be fulfilled. Now, when it's a spiritual intervention that take place from an evil angle, that come and interfere, you call it interference with people karma, right? That is when go to have consequences to those people, right? Because I was in a oath, I was in a contract, right? The contract is considered wrong according to your religion, right? And if that was my religion in the past, there is no business that anybody want, right? If that religion in which that was considered wrong was my religion in a past life, there is no business of anybody, right? So when you try to intervene and spiritually evict people in terms of for the purpose of forcing people back into a particular religion, when I already evolve out of that religion because the religion is evil, right? All of the religion is evil. All religion is evil, right? When you try to spiritually evict people, right, in the name of any particular religion or in the name of what you want, right? The people who try to do that, right, is going to face consequences for it, right? That's just a lesson for the world, and it's we are script to learn. You cannot force people. If I tell you I'm a monotheist since I was 7 years old, you cannot force me to go back in a past age and be with somebody. I'm spiritually boot me out of my home, right, in Central, to be with somebody who only wanna hook me up with because I be with in a polytheistic relationship, right? I evolved out of that. You can't drag me back into that arrangement. Since I was 7 years old, I tell you all I'm monotheist. You can't drag me back into a polytheistic relationship because all you wanted so. You're not allowed to do that. So that arrangement would never happen. It will never come into fruition because in this life we were supposed to separate. And that's why what all you do, which is the MK Ultra is the impermissible knowledge, nothing else. The MK Ultra and always be MK Ultra and people to throw them back into past age and past life. That is the impermissible knowledge, not the impermissible knowledge like gematria or tarot cards, right? The impermissible knowledge all it is doing is MK Ultra and people to throw them back into our past life, right? So they go back into our past age and keep people in cycles. People move past beyond that now. If I progress from polytheism to 7 freaking years old, you can't force me back at age 35. No, well, 31 hours, 31, 32 when this happened. You can't force me back into a relationship in a polytheistic relationship. Life don't happen that way. So now everybody who do that now have to wait out my entire life because I have my life. Because if I dead for somebody since that was a past life. I'm not here to dead for nobody since in this life. So now everybody who forced me into that, all they had to wait with me, I'll wait out this whole life because I had nothing else to do now. So everybody at a point now, well, where's what we're doing, right? You're just waiting, right? And if I get in a next relationship, Ollie gotta just watch that too. Like Ollie was watching all the time spiritually or from wherever Ollie was viewing from. And Ollie can't do nothing about it. This is what I tell Ollie is Paul. Ollie's Paul, Ollie's self in Ollie own troubles. The whole group that doing this bullshit. Ollie know how to put Ollie's self, right, in Ollie's own fucking troubles. I out of that boy. Right, good.